Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing readings where we are going to pick a deer, and then we're going to do 3 readings. One is breathe, one is be, and one is become. Because last night I dreamed, two of my dreams had deer in them prominently. Those are 2 that I remember, actually. There may have been more. But one of them was I don't want to get in too much detail, but it's a deer man who every time he breathed, he became more of himself. And then the other one was, I was playing with a plush deer. And in my dream mythology, plush animals are representative of aspects of self. So anyway, breathe, be, and become. So that's what we're going to do. So we have 4 deer to choose from to start with. These are going to become your breathe ones, which is how you're going to activate your consciousness of what you are going to be sitting with and being, and then what you're going to be becoming. So we have the stag from the Wildwood Tarot, and this is basically this is the strength. This is the strength card in the Wildwood Tarot. We have the deer and oat from the Woodland Wardens. Hi, sweetie. The kitties just appeared. From the Woodland Wardens Oracle deck, which is healing. We have the deer of Delta from the White Light Oracle deck, which has to do with just natural trusting in the healing nature of nature. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles from the gorgeous Unifying Consciousness Tarot, which is about assessing, just basically taking a moment to assess and progress and things like that. So one of these will start your 3 reading about breathe, be, and become, with a leaning towards deer. So feel into the cards. One of these or more will have a message for you about that. I will also be using the Forest Fae Oracle deck and the Wisdom of the Oracle deck for respectively be and become. So again, feel into the cards. I will put the timestamps in the description, and I will see you at the readings. Bye! While I have you, I also have to say I am not doing a reading next week. I am going to be recovering from a tooth extraction, so I will be skipping next week. I wish you all the best. And also this reading is basically for whenever you find your way to it, because it is basically not time sensitive. It's for whenever you find this video. So, can you hear the cat crunching? I just had to give her some food because otherwise she would have harassed me. All right, on to the readings. Bye. Hello to all of you who chose the stag as your breathe card. Again, this is the equivalent of the strength card in regular tarot. This is from the Wildwood Tarot. So let's pull some oak runes and get some clarification on this as your breathe. This is what you're doing to reconnect with, in this case, your strength, which is going to lead you to what is going to come afterwards, which is being, just sitting with yourself and being, and then also what is going to lead you to becoming. These runes are so long. These are the oak runes. They're the long ones, and yeah, they're big. The middle one is almost as big as the card that I'm going to be putting down. So breathe, and this will actually act as kind of a breakthrough for you. We have Dagas, which is the rune of the breaking of the day. This is what's going to bring the light in. This is what's going to bring in the illumination into your being and your life, because things have been feeling like they were narrowing a bit. Things have been sort of closing in, like the edges of your vision curling in, and now we're going to get the full illumination. So this is the torch. It's reversed Kaunas, and it's in this particular instance, given the context, I'm seeing this as like you were losing light, you were losing your ability to focus broadly, and so things were like narrowing for you. Now you're breathing, and when you're breathing, you're going to get that full illumination. You're going to get that sense of revelation and, the light coming back in. and which is going to connect you with your strength. We have what's helping you is the fact that you are feeling like, okay, I am getting my sense of independence back. We have algae is reversed, which is kind of ironic because the whole thing is going to be about deer. This is the rune of the elk, which is of course a moose, and then otherwise known as, and reversed in the helping line, it's you are able to do your own protection and your own support. So being able to do that, just basically breathing is like, oh yeah, I remember now, I can stand up and I can do this, and I have that ability. So you're going to feel much better once you start breathing and like letting yourself breathe. What isn't going to help is we have Sovilo, which is the rune of the sun. It's in the not helping line, so it's a worry about that thing. You are worried about energy levels. But again, this is why you're breathing. This is why you're revitalizing yourself and getting that energy coming in. And also just breathing, and it leads you to this sense of being able to protect yourself, being able to stand up for yourself. I don't know what the cat is doing. Can you hear the crinkly paper that she's standing on right now? She's looking, I think she's going to jump. Yep, she jumped. What are you doing? Anyway, kitty cat. She's exploring. Anyway, so yeah, what is going to help is just that as you breathe and as you get more into that, you're going to feel stronger. You're going to feel like you're able to protect yourself more and stand up for yourself more. What this is going to lead you to is even just breathing. I mean, this could be like a meditative thing where it's the stillness through which clarity comes. We have Isa, which is the rune of ice. So it's the stillness. I'm sorry, right in my full view is the cat. And she's knocking things off chairs. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, kitty. All right. Anyway, you're going to get to a place where things are going to be very clear. You're going to be still and you're going to be clear. I'm going to have to get up and get the cat down. Come on, sweetie. Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, little mischief. All right. Good kitty. So that's your breathe. It's going to get you to a place where you're still, and it's the stillness through which clarity comes. So now let's lay down a card for the bee, part. This is going to be sort of your key to where you have attained a certain stillness. You have breathed to bring yourself back to focus and get the light back in. And so now we're going to sit with ourselves as we be who we are. So take control of your quest, choose your companions wisely. So that's going to be key to when you be. So let's get some runes down on that. Again, these are really big runes. The first one's going to almost cover the whole thing. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, now that you're in a situation, once you've done the breathe part, you'll be in a state of stillness. You won't feel, and the fact that you can actually stand up and protect yourself. You'll be in a situation where you won't feel as worried by Hagalaz, although Hagalaz in this case, I think, is really referring more to nature and your own nature, because this is you being who you are. So we have Hagalaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm. I often read this as chaos and things that are out of your control, but honestly, given the context and the path, I'm seeing this more as you are strong in your own nature. And this goes with this one, where you're strong in yourself and you're able to stand up for yourself and protect yourself and support yourself. Leading up to this, it's actually, you are giving yourself that step-by-step timing where you're not rushing it, you're not pushing the river, you're taking it step by step. This is Ivaz, which is the rune of the yew tree. Patience, slow growth, slow development, step by step, sometimes moving between worlds also, but it's just like, this is not something you can rush. So that's what got you up until this point, and here you are being who you are, your true nature, and you're breathing into this. I mean, you're going to be breathing into all of these steps. So you're breathing into your true nature, you are being this, and you realize you are a force of nature, you are who you are, this is you, this is your nature. What's going to help is the things that seem difficult, and I think I'm seeing this sort of like as shadow aspect, where it's something that maybe you don't want to acknowledge or you don't really like to acknowledge, but it's part of you, and it's a part of, you can get magic from that. So I think in terms of the B step, there is going to be an element of facing those challenges, which are going to be, they're going to seem impossible because they're the things that you're like, no, I don't like to look at that part of myself. But that's where some magic lies that you maybe haven't been utilizing, and that maybe you haven't realized that you could utilize. So part of being is going to be addressing that. It's not like, oh, let's look at this and see how awful I am. It's just basically, yes, I see that this is a part of myself that I don't generally like to acknowledge. However, what is in there that I can make use of? And even if it is challenging, it's something that is going to be magical. There is magic there. What isn't helping is we have Gabo, which is the rune of the gift. This has to do with agreements, decisions, goals, plans, sometimes one-on-one interactions. There may be a bit of a worry about because you're taking your time with this and you are just being. There's always a stress, especially modern society, where you're like, I have to be doing. It's like, just be for now. This is the step where you're just going to be. So there's this like, you want to. We're almost trained to back burner that. Please don't. This is not going to help you if you do that. So just basically look at what you need to do. Look at what you need to address. If you're going to be, just accept all of you and just sort of, work with. Obviously, we're not going to, treat the things that you're shadowing as counselors, and basically see them as, as your. Like there is magic therein, and you want to basically see what you can use from that. This is actually making a lot more sense, our little key here, which is take control of your quest, choose your companions wisely. So you definitely want to make sure that you are in control of, again, your quest, and make sure that the people that you surround yourself with are going to be people that are not going to throw you off and not let you be who you are. And the final rune in this is Zero, which is the rune of the harvest and also time. You are going to be seeing the fruits of your labors from this. You're going to be getting results from facing this, where it's the things that maybe you don't normally accept about yourself. You're going to accept all of yourself because you're just being, and you're going to get that magic that you know is there, that you maybe weren't normally getting. But once you've accepted it all, then there you go. You have it. So for the third card, which is the Become card, what are you breathing into, and what becoming are you breathing into? So this is the becoming that you are breathing into. Poised. So from that, you're basically breathing into your strength. You're finding your strength by breathing into it. You're finding your true nature by breathing into it. And now it's like, how can we become confident with that, and where you can take that and be who you are in a poised way in the world. So let's get some runes down. These are oak runes. I think I mentioned that earlier, but they're the oak runes. Oh, nice. Okay. Make sure that you are keeping your access to your joy inwardly, because nobody can take it if it's inner. So have that sense of inner joy constantly going on, and that'll help keep you poised. That's very, very major for you. Aha. Okay. So definitely, your main thing is to keep access to your inner joy. Basically, make sure that you know what that is, and that you continually touch in with that. That's going to keep you poised as you become who you are, as you breathe into this. Breathe into your inner joy. Leading up to that, there's a sense of inner worth that you've gained from this, and from dealing with this, and from fruits of your labors. So from standing up for yourself and self-protecting, self-supporting, from accepting yourself as you are, including the bits that you don't normally accept because there's magic in there, and then you get the fruits of your labors from that. And this has led to a great sense of confidence, which is Fehu reversed. Wealth and worth reversed is inner. Your central issue in this poised aspect of what you are becoming is somebody much more poised. And this is because no matter what, you have access to your inner joy, and you know that nobody can take that from you. So that's going to help you a lot. What's going to help you as you do this is to make sure that you're tending needs as they come. Is this upright or reversed? Oh, this is the rune set where it's equal. So whether it's an emergency or just the needs around you, make sure that you're taking care of your needs. As they arise, take care of that. That's going to keep you on top of things. It's going to keep you in touch with your inner joy. It's definitely going to help. What isn't going to help is you're always going to be worried about, first of all, worried about shadow, which is, the things that you may discover about yourself that maybe you wish you didn't have. But also just unpleasant things, unpleasant surprises. It's Peritho, which is in a lot box. Surprises and fate. So just, you're just worried about the things that are unexpected. But even with that there as a worry, if it starts to drag you down, bring yourself back up to, it's like, well, I'll address that when it happens. It's one of those things where, the thing about the deer, and I was thinking about this earlier, is that they're very much in the moment. They address things as they happen. It's like, this is the thing, so this is what I'm going to do in this moment. And they just exist, like they exist in that space of the moment. So and you can trust yourself. So you're confident. So that as the needs arise, you have what you need to deal with them and to face them. And as long as you keep that sense of inner joy, and have access to that, and if you're not feeling joyful, then you're just like, okay, well, let me just tap into that and just keep that. That will help. Then keeping on top of your needs is going to help you with that. And what this is going to lead you to is, we have Lagu's reversed, which is the rune of emotion, intuition, and heart. It's reversed, and flow, and it's reversed on the path line. So really being very aware of your emotional flow, basically the inner thing. You're going to be able to surf negative emotions. And also just being very much as you are in touch with your deep inner joy, you're going to be in touch with your deep inner heart. And that's so important to let that lead. So that is your Breathe, Be, Become reading for card number 1. I wish you, for the stag, for the strength card in the Wildwood Tarot. So I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello to all of you who chose the Deer and Oat from the Woodland Warden's Oracle deck for your Breathe card in Breathe, Be, Become. So let's move this over here. This has to do with healing. So definitely one of the things that you're going to be focusing on when you're breathing, and something that the breathing is going to connect you to, is your own healing. So let's get some runes down on it. I'm using the oak runes because they're nice and calming. Yeah, just surrender. Just basically do that. Surrender to the healing. Sometimes we just have to get out of our own way so that we can heal, so that our bodies, which know what they are doing, will heal themselves. Ooh. And then you can take on any challenge. So trusting, basically, and we're going to get to that in the third reading, but this is basically, for this one, where it is just basically about healing. Breathe. You're going to breathe into this. You're going to breathe into your healing, and the healing will take care of itself. You've been rushing up until this point. You've just been galloping. We have Avaz, which is the rune of the horse. This has to do with movement and spirit. I'm really seeing this as just rushing up until this point, and now you realize you need to stop. You need to breathe. You need to heal, which gives us our central point on the Breathe card, which is Tivaz reversed, which is... I'm going to read it a couple ways. Tivaz is Tears rune, Tears the warrior god. So it does have to do with, the whole warrior thing. But when it's reversed, it's like, lay down your sword, surrender to this, surrender to the healing. Just don't fight it. Let it happen. And also, Tyr was very much about taking care of things that needed to be taken care of. So it's a matter of, because it's reversed, it's inner. So take care of your inner needs, and breathing is going to help that. That's what this is all about. What is going to help you with that is stay with it. Stick to it. Be still. We have Isa, which is the rune of ice. This has to do with stillness, obviously, but it's the stillness through which clarity comes. So give yourself that. To be still. Just surrender to the healing, and also be still. Breathe. Let yourself be still. Surrender to the healing. And the clarity will come through. The healing will come through. What isn't going to help is you're going to miss people. We have Manas reversed. Manas is the rune of humanity and your part in it. you've been busy, 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 rush, 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 and now you're doing this, and you're going to feel like people are going to feel like I abandoned them. This is not the case. You're doing this so that you don't have to do that, because if you catch it now, then your body won't make that decision for you. So, because manas is reversed here, so it's worries that people are going to feel that you abandoned them, worries that you don't want to turn away from people, you're going to miss people. But you're doing this so that you can be more of who you need to be when you come back out of this. So, but for now, for the breathe stage, breathe, allow the healing, surrender, and be still. Give yourself that stillness. And at the end of that, you will feel like you can face any challenge. You'll feel like you can take on anything. We have Thurisaz reversed, which is the rune of the challenge, Thorn the giant, the gateway. It is reversed on the path line, which is like an extremely difficult challenge. But as far as the path goes, it's like, yeah, now I can take this on. So let's get the card down for B. We're using the Forest Fae Oracle deck, which are lovely, lovely, lovely little cards. And we're going to draw the key for that. So if you're like, I just want to sit with myself while I be who I am, this is going to be a key to that. Did we want to? No, I'm just going to take the top one because I cut it. To the Greenwood, seek comfort and acceptance and be kind to yourself. So yeah, part of the key to this is going to be making sure that you are feeling comforted and that you are feeling accepted. And definitely, as this says, be kind to yourself. This is going to help you just be with who you are. Again, another surrender rune, but in a different way. Just as you surrendered to this moment of breathing, which is going to bring healing, you are surrendering to who you are and allowing yourself just to be that. We have Uruz reversed, which is the central issue here on the B card. Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. This has to do with strength and health and stubbornness in terms of stick-to-itiveness. Reversed, it's inner strength, inner health, and surrender. You're not resisting. So don't resist who you are. Even the bits that you maybe don't think are likable, that's you. So you need to be kind to that. Be very kind to yourself. Leading up to this, we have Ansuz, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. I'm sort of just seeing this like express. You've come to this point, you feel like you can take anything on. You're like, okay, I'm going to express who I am. I'm going to be who I am, and I'm going to sit with that. So this leads you to this sort of surrender to that. You're not resisting who you are anymore. What's going to help you is we have Othala. Othala is the rune of the home and the homeland. Give yourself sanctuary. Give yourself that kindness, as if like whoever and whatever you find yourself to be, give that sanctuary, give that home space, like give that comfort and home, just like the card said, like give yourself comfort, be kind to yourself. And that's going to help you the most as far as just like this unconditional acceptance of yourself while you just sit and be as who you are. What won't help is we have Raido, which is the rune of the journey. There's some worries about that. There's worries about your journey ahead. You may be like, I'm sitting with myself now, but I feel like I want to keep going because you pushed up until this point. You were like, go, 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 rush, rush, rush. And you're like, I want to get back to that. I feel like I'm not fulfilling myself if I'm not rushing and moving forward. It's like you are moving forward. This is essential to that. You needed to breathe and now you need to be. And you need to comfort yourself and be kind to yourself and allow yourself to be who you are. And what this is all going to lead you to is a great epiphany. Like we have Dagas, which is the rune of the breaking of the day. So there is going to be, through this, you're going to get, full illumination, it's like a breakthrough. It's like now there is light. It's like I feel like I'm seeing better than I did before because of this, because you gave yourself the time to just be. So let's get our final card, which is the Become card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Oop, that one wanted to jump out, so let's use that one. Not for you. Interesting. So as you become, you're going to become very much more aware of what is and what isn't for you. And you can let go of the things that no longer serve you or that never served you. Because you may have been clinging to things because you thought, as this shows, you do care about what other people think. So there were a lot of things that maybe you were doing and that you were including in your life that really weren't for you. And now as you move forward, you're like, that was never for me, and letting go of that will give me great energy. And this is where you actually connect to, as you let go of things that no longer serve you, all of the energy connected with that comes back to you, and you have it now, which is going to be great for you. So central issue on the Become card is Sovilo. Sovilo is the rune of the sun. This has to do with source energy. So whatever it is that whenever you connect with it, if it's something you do, or if it's somewhere you go, or if it's something that you experience, this is something that always energizes you. So it could be music, or it could be creating, or it could be going out in nature. Anything whatever it is that you could do it all day. Like you could, whenever you do it, it is giving you energy. That's what this is about. It's like, this is about your energy levels and your source energy, and you're connecting to source energy. And by doing that, like, everything else just falls to the wayside. And leading up to that, you have internally this sense of joy, and you are using this as kind of a guide. You're connecting to your inner joy, and you're like, okay, things that are no longer feeding that joy and things that are no longer helping that joy, I'm letting that go. It's not for me. And this will free up the energy to be your energy that you can use to direct the way that is right for you. What is going to help you is Hagalaz. Hagalaz is the rune of the hailstorm. I do often read this as chaos and things that are out of your control, but in this case, I am seeing this as nature, specifically your true nature. Excuse me. So this is basically, you are connecting to who you are entirely, the force of nature that you are, and that's going to help you while you are reconnecting with what gives you energy. What isn't going to help is we have Fehu reversed. Fehu is the rune of wealth and worth. This is once again connected to, you're sort of worried about the worth of you. It's also a warning about being overconfident sometimes, but I'm not seeing that in this case. I'm really seeing this as, what if I'm not worthy? What if all of this, I'm pursuing my joy, I'm connecting to my energy, I've already given sanctuary to my whole self, and I spent time with it. Now as I breathe into this becoming, there is that little worry, like, am I worthy of this? Yes, of course you are. You are a force of nature. Does a hailstorm ask if it's worthy? Does the sun? So you are. This might drag you down, though it wouldn't be here if it wasn't a temptation. So if you start to feel yourself dragged down by this worry, like, am I worthy? It's like, I am. So the fact that I am is the answer to, am I worthy? Yes, of course I am. Here I am, existing essentially in the world. So what this is going to lead you to is it's going to open things up to learn even more about yourself, because you have shown yourself that you are willing to be accepting of yourself and comforting of yourself, and that you are embracing this sense of being as who you are and expressing that and being okay with that. Then the rest of it that has been hiding all of this time is going to go, oh, well, in fact, if it's going to be like that, then I might as well come out as well. Hey, this is also about you, and this is also who you are, and this is something else that you have access to. So, Paratho reversed, lot box, surprises and fate. When it's reversed, it's inner, surprises about yourself. So once you've done all this, once you've breathed into activating yourself and allowing yourself the stillness to breathe, once you have ceased resisting who you are and spent time with that and comforted that and housed that, you're going to bring that over to where you're going to become, where you're tapping into your source energy and you are seeing yourself as, your true nature. Then everything else that has been hidden about yourself is going to start to say, okay, well, you also have access to this. So very exciting. Card number 2, people. I wish that's your reading for Breathe, Be, and Become. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello to all of you who chose the Deer of Delta as your Breathe card. So this is the card that has to do with just faith and trust in the natural healing processes of things. You just basically, you allow yourself to sleep so that you can heal, trusting that you will. Let's bring this over here and get some runes down on this breathing stage where you are allowing yourself to breathe, which is going to bring healing. That's interesting. It's like this is the only rune set where there is no discernible difference between my Nauthi's reversed and my Nauthi's upright. So I read them both at once, just basically as need, tending needs. There are those whom I respect greatly who actually say, oh, there shouldn't be reversals on these, but I use this as a language, so I do use reversals to get context and language, but I get where she's coming from. But for me, personally, as the way that I read as conversationally, I do need the reversals. However, in this case, there is no reversal. It's basically just tend your needs. So this is a situation where you are allowing yourself to basically, I'm going to say, based on the card, surrender to just your trust in your nature to heal yourself, in your health and your body to heal itself. So you're tending your needs by doing this. Whether this is an emergency or not, you're letting yourself breathe. Leading up to this, you've actually stumbled on your journey. There is it's Raido, the journey rune. It's reversed. Either you have brought a journey to a close, or you're going along your journey and you've stumbled because you haven't been allowing yourself to breathe. So this is an absolute need thing. In this case, it would be an emergency where you're like, I'm going to stop. I'm going to let myself breathe. I'm going to trust myself to heal, even though I don't have conscious control of that. I'm going to let the healing happen. What is going to help is that you're going to see the results right away. We have the Yira, which is the rune of the harvest, and also time. You're going to see the fruits of your labors, such as the labor that it is to stop and let yourself breathe. You're going to see results immediately. You're going to see the nourishment that's coming from that. You're going to see the fruits of that's coming through, the magic that's coming through. As soon as you stop and let yourself breathe, as an emergency and as tending your needs, you're going to see that. What isn't going to help? We have Ingvaz, which is Ing's rune. I see this as active creation. It's in the lower line. What isn't helping? So don't try to force this. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to push the river here. This is something that you have to basically surrender to a certain extent as you breathe, trusting that the healing will happen. And you will see that. I mean, you may feel tempted to force it to be something, but if you just let go of that and just breathe, you're going to see the healing happen. You're going to see the fruits of your labors. So that's going to keep you inspired to keep going. Inspired for breathing. What this is going to lead to is we have Lagu's reversed, which is the rune of, it's the water, so it's the flow, and it's also emotion, intuition, and the heart. It is reversed. So I'm seeing this as you're going to start to reconnect with heart in this moment. Once you've tended your needs, you're going to start to feel things inwardly. You're going to start to connect with heart. Maybe your intuition is going to start to come back. You're going to start to get on top of some of those negative emotions that you've been having. Like maybe you've been having some surging emotions, and maybe breathing is going to allow you to let those calm a little bit and just give yourself that patience. So that's where you're at for the breathe stage. Let's get a card for the key to your B stage. Once you're reconnecting with heart and your emotions and, becoming a little bit calmer, you're going to start to feel like yourself again. And then it's time for you to just be with that. Whatever that is for you, including the bits that you normally shove aside, your shadow aspect, you're going to want to be with all of that. Take the time. Allow yourself to be and be gentle with that. Trust in yourself. You have all you need. Keep going. So as you take that time to just be with who you are, all of what you are, keep moving forward. Trust yourself and that you have all you need. Look at that. Hagalaz, which is the hailstorm, your true nature. And you are just being with that true nature. And it's like from this point to this point, there is going to be a little bit of being patient involved, because this is where it's just sort of awakening. You're breathing, just keep breathing. Always a good idea to keep breathing. Breathing is important, but as long as you live. And so central issue, central point of the B stage is Hagalaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm. I am seeing this very strongly as your true nature and all of its bits, because sometimes, every time, there are parts of who we are who maybe are a bit scary or maybe are you were worried that they will cause destruction, but be with this, be with all of it, because this is you, and you need to be with that. Leading up to this, we have Ivaz, which is the rune of the yew tree. Breathe, 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 breathe. But the more you breathe, the more you're going to connect with this, and then here you are. So what's going to help you as you are sitting with your true nature and your true self and who you are in all your glory as a force of nature, what's going to help you is to just basically agree to do this with yourself. We have Gabo, which is the rune of the gift. This has to do with, it's always an exchange. So it is you meeting with yourself and spending time with yourself and connecting with yourself in a one-on-one way. It's also agreements, decisions, plans, and goals. So you definitely want to give yourself that date with yourself to just be with who you are and just sit with that. Make that agreement that I'm just going to sit with this. I'm going to accept this. I'm going to have this exchange with myself by true nature, who I am. What isn't going to help is we have Vunyo. Vunyo is the rune of joy. In the lower line, it's worries about that. So, you're sort of like, what if I'm not happy with who I am? Well, this is, the important thing is to be interested in who you are, and the important thing is to be accepting with who you are and trust in yourself and that you have all you need. Maybe there's parts of yourself that you don't care for very much at the moment, but you're going to sit with them, and maybe you'll be able to get some magic out of that. Maybe you'll realize once you're sitting with it, once you're accepting it, that there's magic that part of you has that will give you what you didn't know you had that you need. And what this is all going to lead you to is we have Sovilo, which is the rune of the sun. This is your source energy. And this is where you're going to connect to what the card says, which is that you have all you need. Obviously there are things that you do connect to in your life which give you source energy, which connect you to what energizes you, no matter when you connect with it, no matter what, you always feel like, okay, that energizes me. It doesn't drain you. It gives you what you need. But also, once you sit with yourself, that will be another source, another form of that, another source of your source energy is the full acceptance of who you are, where you're not feeling like you're always wrestling with yourself. You're like, okay, you know what? This is me, and I'm just going to sit with that. I'm going to let myself be who I am and just relax into that and just trust that you are everything that you need. So let's get our final card down for the Become stage of this reading. And we're using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Get what card we need for that. Alrighty. Become milk and honey. That's great, because it's like the whole thing about that you have all you need is, it's like by accepting who you are, you now have everything. You have full nourishment. You are where you need to be. You don't feel like you have to be anywhere else or anyone else. You will feel like everything that you need is, look at the elephant. Is that a happy elephant in your cereal? But anyway, it's all good. Like it's exactly what you need. Yeah. So what you will be becoming, as you breathe into your becoming. Look at that. I love it. Okay. So now you don't feel like you have to hide anything from yourself anymore. After you spent time with yourself, you really can focus. You can it's like you're all focusing together. All of you nothing is misaligned. You're focusing together on things. Again, breathe, breathe, breathe into who you are, into the being, and then breathe into your becoming. At first, there's going to be a great sense of stillness because you're not going to be at odds anymore. The parts of you that you were sort of iffy about are now aligned with you. So you will feel this great sense of stillness, and it's the stillness through which clarity comes. So this is Isa, which is ice. And it's you finally feel still. You finally feel like, okay, I'm getting some clarity in now. I feel like I don't have to, I'm not over efforting anymore. And then you can align your focus and move forward. And what's going to help you with that is that you are becoming. We have Berkana, which is the rune of the birch tree, and This has to do with beginnings and birth. So this whole new beginning where you are more aligned with yourself than you've ever been before, this is what's helping you become, because you know that you're in a perpetual state of becoming and you are aligned and you're moving forward, and you know that whatever you become is also going to be you, and that you can give that the same patience and, trust, like in terms of just being okay with yourself. And obviously there are parts of you that you're going to have to see as counselors, where you're not always going to take that counsel, but you're going to listen because it needs to be heard. But you are more aligned. You're moving forward, and the fact that you've got a new beginning happening, and it's like there's more nourishment in the world now than there was before, because you connected with this, and this has tapped you into some source energy you didn't realize you had. What isn't going to help is we have Othala reversed. There was a certain comfort zone to where you were shutting out part of who you were. So you missed that to a certain extent. It's habit. It was where you were at before you were more integrated. So there's part of that you miss, unfortunately. So you feel like this is all very, very new, and that you're out of your comfort zone, and you have these habits that you maybe were used to shoving part of yourself aside. And there's something, it's like giving up any habit where you're like, what do I do? What do I do with all of this that I used to use to do this with? I feel like doing this, but I can't do that anymore because we're aligned now. Bring yourself back up to, I am becoming. I am breathing into this new becoming. And as I breathe out, I'm letting go of this. So you're breathing into the new becoming and the new beginning of the new becoming as a more integrated you. And when you breathe out, you're letting go of the things that no longer serve, because that isn't helping you, if it ever did. So what this is all going to lead you to is a greater sense of individuality in the world. You know that you're in the right place. You know that you are where you need to be, and you do feel a sense of belonging as you become. However, you don't feel as swayed by what other people want you to be, or by what other people think you should be or are telling you that you should be. You don't feel swayed by other people's trends or opinions or any of that. You will feel much more comfortable standing up as who you are in the world, because you know you're in the right place and you know that you are who you need to be. So that, card number 3, people, is your reading for Breathe, Be, Become. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello to all of you who chose the gorgeous 7 of Pentacles from the Unifying Consciousness Tarot for your Breathe card. I'm going to bring this over here to do the reading on it. Once again, you're breathing into this. In this case, what you're breathing into is allowing yourself to look at what you've created so far in the world. Look at what you've manifested so far in the world and give it a little bit of an assessment, even if it's like a previously on your life kind of recap kind of thing. Just like to look over it. You will see how much you've grown. You will see what your path has looked like. You will see your progression and your progression of learning and your progression of skills. And you will see this as you breathe into it, as you give yourself the time and the space to breathe into this and really assess, give yourself a personal assessment of where you are in your life right now, because it needs to happen, and it's going to help you a lot in the steps to come. So let's get some runes down. These are oak runes, which are nice and comforting, I find. They're very long, though. This is my second set of really, really long runes from the McPhee's people. And I always forget how long they are, but they're great. I love them. Right, so I suppose these also would be considered a fruit or nut bearing tree, which is why I got the first set I have, the black walnut ones. Tacitus basically was talking about this, like they used to cut the runes from a fruit or nut bearing tree. They cut the staves for the runes from a fruit or nut bearing tree, and I didn't have any, so I ordered the black walnut ones from them, and those are great. And then it's like I had some experiences with oak trees, and I was like, I would love to have some oak runes. And then I was thinking, well, because of the acorns, they are kind of a fruit or nut bearing tree as well. So all my long runes are very traditional as per Tacitus. But anyway, I digress. You're breathing into this, the 7 of Pentacles energy of looking at what you have so far, looking at your progress and assessing it where you're standing. So breathe, breathe. One of the main things that's going to be happening is that you're going to see the things that are no longer serving you, and you're going to be letting those go. So as you breathe into this moment of pausing and recapping and assessing, when you breathe out, you're going to be letting go of the things that no longer serve you. Leading up to this, we have Isa, which is the rune of ice. This is stillness. It's the stillness through which clarity comes. So it looks like there has been some time for you that you're like, okay, I'm going to take some time. I'm going to be still for a minute because I really want to see where I'm at. I want to reorient, and I want to see where I'm at in my path right now. And that's what you're doing now. You're breathing into this and you're letting go of the things that are no longer serving you in your life. What is going to help you is that the more you do this, the more you look at this and the more you assess where you're at and how far you've come, the happier you're going to be. We have Vunyo, which is the rune of joy, which is joy. All of this is going to free things up, especially letting go of the things that no longer serve you. You're going to feel this great joy surging in to take the place of that. It's like, okay, that's good. It's the more I let go of that stuff that doesn't help me, the more what does help me is going to flow in and give me joy. So you're going to feel very much more joy than before. Also, just to focus on joy. You are going in this direction, and you wouldn't be going in this direction, I don't think, as heartily if you weren't moving towards joy or letting your joy lead you. What isn't going to help you, is Berkana. Berkana is the rune of the birch tree and birth. The birch tree, it has to do with birth, beginnings, new beginnings. There is a worry about that. You don't want to have to start over. There is this worry about, I'm letting go of things that no longer serve me. Does that mean that I'm starting from scratch in this moment? No, it doesn't. Does this mean that we're starting over from the beginning? Maybe that's a part of it. Maybe looking back is a bit worrying because you're looking at when you were a baby in whatever aspect that was and going, man, I didn't know anything, and then feeling embarrassed about it all over again because that's what happens. You look back and you're like, cringe. But the thing is, the fact that you're cringing means that you have grown. So be happy about that. Gently, accept that this was part of your history, but let that go, like breathe that out, and then focus on the joy. Let the joy lead you forward. What this is going to lead you to is it really is like a recap at the beginning of a show you've been watching. It's like previously on, and then you go through that, you sort of go through the file, you declutter it, you let go of the things that are no longer serving you, and you're ready to move forward with more joy. You are facing an open door. We have Thurizaz, which is the rune of the challenge. It's the thorn, the giant, the gateway. Upright, it's an open door. So you are now like, okay, now we're ready to watch the next episode. So let's get that next episode happening with the B stage of this reading. So we're using the Forest Fae Oracle deck for this. Lovely, lovely little cards. I'm going to just draw one of those, which is going to be a key to your being. The Northwood Fae, take time for hibernation and healing. So this is going to help you in your B stage. This isn't what you're necessarily going to be doing, but if you have problems with sitting with yourself and who you are now and just letting yourself be, let yourself hibernate on that. Let yourself heal into who you are. And once again, continue to breathe. Breathing is important, as the untalkative bunny was instructed by his trainer. I hope there's some of you who saw season 1 of Untalkative Bunny, because that's such a brilliant series. It was. The first season anyway. I think the second season lost its path, but that's okay. And it was set in Ottawa. Very much set in Ottawa. Anyway. Breathe into being. Sit with yourself. Sit with who you are and just be. So you're going to be integrating. You're going to be very much integrating. Like basically what you have just reviewed, you're going to be integrating all of that, what you've kept of what that is, because you obviously let a lot of that go that wasn't helping you anymore. This you are integrating that, weaving that into who you are now. Leading up to that, this is Ingvaz rune, active creation. So this is tying things together. Leading up to that, we have Algiz reversed. Algiz is the rune of the elk, otherwise known as a moose if you're in North America. And this has to do with protection and support. Reversed, it has to do with your own taking care of yourself, protecting yourself, supporting yourself. So you're very much able to do that. And you've seen this because you look back and it's like, oh, well, I made it all the way here. So you're feeling very confident about that. You're feeling very comfortable with standing up for yourself and being who you are. And you freed up a lot of energy from just letting go of the things that aren't serving you anymore. So here you are, you're integrating all of that with who you are now, and you're just being and just becoming. And well, you're becoming over here, but right now you're sitting with who you are now, who you are in this minute. So what's going to help you with that is we have Hagalaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm. I do often read this as chaos and things that are out of your control, but in this reading and in every reading in this session so far, for all of these cards, it has really been very strongly saying your true nature. This is your true nature, and just to accept who you are, even the bits that are scary, to just include all of that. Include all of it, because the parts that you may have thought were scary and the parts that you may have thought were not something you want to, for public consumption, there's magic in there that maybe if you sat with it and sort of saw it as a counselor and let it become comfortable, obviously not things that if you have any sort of feelings of like destructive tendencies, we treat all these parts of yourself as counselors, and you can take their counsel or not. But just let it be heard. Sit with it, spend time with it, just sit and be, and just let that be, and let yourself sit with your true nature and all of its glory and all of its force of nature-iness. And once again, this is your time to, as you sit with yourself and be, this is where you're going to start maybe just like sleep on it as well, because it does say take time for hibernation. So part of your being is just going to be letting yourself rest, sleep, breathe, integrate. But this is also healing. The more you integrate, the more healed and whole you will be. What won't help is maybe part of you has been told, and it's so sad, and I've gotten it as well, just like anybody who has tried to make you feel like you're too much, that's not going to help you because you are exactly who you are, and you are everything that you need to be. And if somebody thinks you're too much, then you're too much for them. They're not for you. So just you're worried about this because maybe you've had to deal with that in the past, where it's like, oh, you're too much. Well, I guess bye, because it's like, I'm not too much. I'm everything that I am. You maybe can't handle that, and that's fine. That's you, and I think maybe that says more about you than it does about me. So, moving forward, we are just going to sit with ourselves, and maybe you're worried that you're going to be too much even for you, but you are you. And if you're worried about, this hailstorm that you are being too much, remember that you are also the hailstorm. So just be that and embrace it and become it, and let there be healing with that. Integrate. What this is going to lead you to is you're going to have a greater sense of what you need, especially once you've been integrating everything, all these aspects of yourself. Maybe there's the only reason that part of you becomes a hailstorm sometimes is because it needs something. And if you just sat with it and listened to what it needed, made it comfortable enough to tell you, then you could take care of that and you wouldn't have to worry about it becoming overwhelming. So that's the kind of thing that this moment of just being and letting yourself sit with that, what that's about. So for the final card, we're doing becoming. So let's get this out. I'm using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck for this. What do we need to know about becoming? Unfinished symphony. So you are constantly unfurling. You are going to be in a perpetual state of becoming. Again, breathe into that. Breathe into your assessment. Breathe into your being, and breathe into what you are becoming, because you are constantly in a state of becoming. So let's get some runes down on that. And you are becoming somebody who doesn't need to worry about what other people think. We have Manas reversed. That's the rune of humanity and your part in it. It is reversed in the center part. So it's just you being you, trusting and knowing that this is essential. You are essential in the world, being just exactly who you are and wholeheartedly who you are. And do not worry about what other people think or say. Leading up to this, we have Uruz reversed. Uruz is the rune of the wild ox. This has to do with strength and health and stubbornness in terms of stick-to-itiveness. When it's reversed, it's about releasing that, not resisting. You are no longer resisting everything that you are. You've sat with yourself and you have let yourself be. So you're no longer resisting that. And because of that, you are now able to stand up and be who you are without having to worry about what other people think. What is going to help you is we have Laguz reversed. Laguz is the rune of the water. It's emotion, intuition, and heart, and flow. So you're keeping the emotional flow going internally. You are connecting with heart internally. You are perhaps tapping into intuition. You are on top of your emotions in that you are just letting them flow under the surface. You're surfing them. You're acknowledging them, but you're not identifying with them. You're not clinging to them, and you're letting them flow. That's going to help you. What isn't going to help is you may feel obligated to be a certain way. We have Gabo, which is the rune of gift. This is agreements, decisions, goals, and plans. It may also be one-on-one relationships. I'm really seeing this more as like your obligations. You're seeing like, I want to be who I am, but I feel like I'm being pressured to be other things and to do other things and to be in the world what I'm obligated to be. The only obligation you have is to be who you are. Obviously, we have obligations to live. We have to survive and make money to support ourselves and all the other things that come with that. However, as far as being who you are, be you. You are your first... you are who you need to be loyal to first. You are who you need to have obligations to first so that you can take care of other people. It's like the whole make sure your oxygen mask is in place before attempting to assist another. So let all that flow happen, connect with your deep inner heart. What this is going to lead you to is a greater sense of being able to express yourself in the world. Express! We have Ansuz, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. So express in the world. Be awesome. Be and become and continually unfurl. And breathe into that as well. So that is your reading, card number 4, people, for Breathe, Be, and Become. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.